talk about the importance of having a story, especially a signature
Yeah.
story. Can you talk more
Mhm.
about that and why that's important?
Absolutely. I Stories are so powerful. They are like the persuasive, magical gift in your back pocket that you can pull out to connect with people. And we all have lots of stories in our life, even if we think our lives are boring and we like little old me over here in Minnesota. I'm just like, who cares about my story or what I saw today or what I experienced today? Um, but really, the story is in service of a message, and it is the fastest way for your audience to connect with you. So, I mentioned I worked with teenagers. I remember when I first started speaking to them, standing up in front and trying to deliver this beautiful script. I thought it was beautiful. I was like, dang, these lines are powerful, and I'm really giving them like nuggets of wisdom. And they didn't care about the message until I told the story. And I remember like feeling this disengage. I'm like, I'm losing them. They're chatting with each other, super disengaged. And I made a decision in split-second decision to just bypass the next 3 minutes of me talking at them with these beautiful scripts that they didn't care about. And fast forwarded to the story. And as soon as I started telling the story, their little heads popped up. They started stopped talking to their neighbor, pulled in and engaged. And then after I had their engagement, after they got a sense that I, through the story, understood what they were going through, that they were emotively opened up to it, then I could deliver some of those key messages and one-liners, and then the message could stick. So it was this big aha moment of not just how stories are powerful, they are the most important persuasive engagement tool that we have. And if we use it in the right way, it makes our messages more impactful. And without it, we're just working, it's an uphill battle. And yeah, Jillian, you're right. As business owners, we have tons of stories that we typically are not really using in order to connect with our audience, in order to pull them, in order to get them to care about our expertise, our ideas, all of the reasons we're like, I have so much to tell you and share with you. I don't care. Why should I care? The story helps
Mhm.
them figure out why to care. And we have to have that first.
Yes, you have to have that connection because anybody could tell them
Mhm.
all the tips and tools, but they have to feel that
Exactly.
connection with you to actually listen.
Yeah, it's an information world right now. The information's already out there. Your story is what makes it meaningful and what makes it different from somebody else's expertise.
So if we don't think we have a story, how do we
Yeah.
dig a little deeper into finding that?
Oh, that's such a good question. It takes some self reflection. I'm thinking back to the key moments in your business or your life. So I like to say that any strong beliefs that you have about your business or even about your idea, what's underneath that is likely a story. Like my belief that stories are persuasive was based on a moment when I saw that stories were persuasive, and that moment is a story. It's very meta. That was like,
Yes.
that was 7 layers of meta there.
Yes.
But the true same thing is true for all of us. From a broad scale, like what are those key stories that you tell? What are the key beliefs that you have that you really want to pass along to other people? They are likely based on an aha moment or a story from your own life. So you could go one by one and say, okay, I have this strong belief. Why do I have that belief? What was the moment that that belief was born? Those are really powerful stories for our business, the kind of the origin stories. So your idea originated somewhere. There's a story there, right? So those are origin stories that you can tap into. I also love what I call the everyday stories. So those stories are the things that move you in the everyday. If you are moved emotively about something, pay attention. Why? What moved you about that? There is a framework that I use with my speakers, and it's moment, meaning, and move. So when you are out in the world and something moves you, you notice something, you see an exchange at the grocery store, or you see a TikTok that just like lights you up for some reason. That is a moment. You could share that moment. That's the first M. The second M, though, is the really important part, and that is the meaning. You can take that moment, and now your job as the speaker, and I'll use that term really loosely here because whatever way you are speaking, your job is to translate that moment for your audience. So, one of the things that tends to hold people back from telling stories is they're like, who cares about me? Well, it's not really about you, it's about your audience and what they could get from this moment. So, you create the meaning for your audience. And then the third M is move. So that is what do you want them to do with this moment and meaning that you have just offered up to them? So moment, meaning, and move. And if you use that framework, it's actually a really powerful way to make sure that you're leveraging the persuasive power of stories, and it helps you like with the structure of like, how do I show up and talk to my audience all the time? So there's a little nugget for you.